I used to think landscape drawing was straightforward. Trees go here, mountains go there, and throw in some clouds. But my drawings felt flat and lifeless, nothing like the scenes that inspired me. There's so much more happening in a good landscape drawing than just recording what's in front of you. If you're picking up a pencil to try landscapes for the first time, here's what I wish someone had told me on day one. You don't need fancy supplies to start. I spent way too much time and money worrying about materials. The truth? A basic HB pencil and printer paper or inexpensive sketchbook are enough to learn the essentials. You can always upgrade later. For now, focus on building skills, not collecting tools. Recommended beginner tools: HB, 2B, and 6B pencils. Eraser, needed is great, but any soft eraser works. Sketchbook or printer paper, a ruler for horizon lines or perspective practice. Drawing is mostly about seeing. When I first started drawing, I'd sketch what I imagined trees and hills should look like, rather than capturing their true forms. The real turning point came when I began drawing from life and observation. I learned to squint my eyes to simplify complex scenes into basic shapes and to pay attention to how light plays across surfaces. Training yourself to see like an artist makes all the difference. For example, when drawing a tree, don't just scribble generic leaf shapes. Instead, take time to notice the overall silhouette, the patterns of light and shadow, and the way branches grow and taper. This shift in focus from what you think you see to what's actually there will elevate your drawings and help you develop a more authentic artistic eye. Landscapes are built from basic shapes. Early on, I skipped over the basics like shapes, lines, and perspective. I wanted to jump straight into detailed portraits and landscapes, but I quickly realized that mastering the fundamentals makes everything else easier. Simple exercises like drawing basic shapes, practicing line control, and understanding light and shadow are the building blocks of great art. Break the scene down into simple forms. That distant hill, it's just a curved wedge. That rock, a chunky box. Simplifying makes complex scenes easier to draw. Values matter more than lines. Early on, I didn't understand the power of shading. Landscape drawing is less about outlining every leaf and more about showing depth with light and dark areas, known as values. Understanding how to create contrast will make your drawings come to life. Practice. Draw a simple scene using 3 values: light, midtone, and dark. You'll quickly see how important this is. The horizon line is your best friend. In landscapes, where you place the horizon line affects the whole composition. It helps establish perspective and directs the viewer's eye. Low horizon emphasizes the sky. High horizon shows more of the land. Knowing this first before you start a drawing can give you control over your composition and mood. Nature isn't perfect. Don't overthink it. If there's one thing that'll transform your landscape drawing, it's this: embrace the mess. I used to drive myself crazy trying to make each tree branch perfect, each cloud symmetrical. I still do this sometimes. But here's the thing: nature isn't perfect either. Your crooked tree and lopsided rocks, they're not mistakes, they're character. Your drawing should feel like the place you're drawing, not look like a photoshopped photograph of it. Mistakes are part of the process. I used to get frustrated when my drawings didn't turn out perfectly. Now I know that mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities to learn. Every artist makes them, and often they lead to unexpected creative discoveries. And honestly, what is a mistake in art? What one person dislikes, another might love. Art is deeply personal and subjective, so don't be afraid to take risks or mess up. You might just create something uniquely yours. Using photo references and sketching from life. Drawing from references, whether it's a photo on your phone or the tree outside your window, teaches you how light hits objects, how shapes work, and how to arrange things in your composition. Every time you draw something from real life, you're building a mental library. Later, when you want to draw from your imagination, you'll have all that knowledge to pull from. Consistency beats intensity. Drawing for hours on weekends, but not touching a pencil all week didn't help me grow as much as I hoped. Consistent, shorter practice sessions, even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, make a bigger difference over time than occasional marathons. Drawing is muscle memory in disguise. I used to think you were either born with natural talent for drawing or you weren't. But that's just not true. Drawing is a skill, just like learning to ride a bike or cook a decent meal. It takes practice. Sure, some people might pick it up a little faster, but with regular drawing sessions and a bit of patience, anyone can improve. Your hand starts to learn how to follow what your eye sees, and that coordination gets stronger the more you draw. Progress might be slow at times, but it will come. Keep showing up, and your skills will grow. If I could go back and tell my beginner self anything, it would be this: start with the basics and don't rush it. It's not just about getting better at making lines and shapes. Drawing actually changes how you look at everything around you. You start noticing how shadows change throughout the day, how morning light makes everything look completely different than evening light, how tree branches actually grow and twist, and the complex patterns in bark or brick walls, how water reflects and distorts everything around it, and how paths and roads create natural leading lines through a scene. Drawing isn't just about putting marks on paper, it's about learning to see the world differently, more clearly, one sketch at a time. No one picks up a pencil and immediately creates masterpieces. The real reward is in getting better at noticing details you never saw before, finding that meditative rhythm when you're sketching, and watching your own unique style emerge on the page. Stay tuned for upcoming videos where I'll break down each of these tips with step-by-step demos. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.